All right, guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we're going to be replacing the spark plugs on my X7. This is the same process for virtually any Gen 2 B58, but kind of for the engine layout and everything, it's maybe a little more specific to the X5, the X7, 5 Series, and 7 Series after 2019 or 2020. So I'll show you guys how to replace them on my car. I've actually got 73,000 miles, so a little bit overdue to what I would typically use as a spark plug maintenance interval, but we'll put some new spark plugs in there and hopefully that will help improve the performance and efficiency of its B58 engine. So let's go ahead and get it done, and hopefully you guys find this video useful.
Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future.
So to start off, of course, the first step is to take off the engine cover. It just pulls straight up. So grab it from all four corners, and then you can just lift it up and pull it out of the way. Now, apparently I drove through the Sahara Desert or something. I don't know why this got so dusty, but we're gonna go ahead and blow this off. If you can, clean it off a little bit. You know, if you've got dirt or debris or whatever that you can just grab, leaves and stuff, definitely get that, because when we remove the spark plugs, you don't want it falling down the holes into the engine. Beautiful, so that did nothing. So next we're going to go ahead and remove the coil packs. Each of these are an E8, so let's get some focus on our spark plug area here. There we go. So yeah, each of these coil packs need to be removed. And so you're gonna remove the E8 Torx bolt. Not remove it, but just loosen it. It stays in the coil pack. So you basically just back it off until the coil pack can be pulled out. See, this one's in an interesting location. This one on cylinder 4 is kind of an annoying spot. So we'll unplug this O2 sensor. And there we go, that just gives us the extra space to get this last one out. So yeah, just turn this until it's completely loose. And then pull the coil pack out. Should pull straight up. If you want, you can unplug the coil pack. I just haven't gotten the habit of it, but if you are leaving it plugged in, just don't pull too hard so you don't yank the wire. And then the spark plug is in there. You do need a special tool. So this is the one that I bought. I will have it linked in the video description. It is a specific pattern for these spark plugs, and it's also a thin wall socket. The regular ones will be too thick and won't fit in the hole. So make sure you get this spark plug tube tool. Make sure you get the spark plug tool, and then it should fit perfectly. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove it. Now, I can't remember if this tool, it came with, I think, like a little grommet in it or something. I took the grommet out, and the reason is because one time I tightened the spark plug, and after tightening it, the grommet got stuck on the spark plug and I couldn't get it out. So I took the grommet out. The grommet is nice because it makes it easy to remove the spark plug, but without it, it's pretty easy to remove it. You just use a long magnet. So go ahead and drop this in there. Oh, not quite loose enough yet. Let's back it off a couple more turns. There we go, I think it's loose now. So drop my magnet down. Okay, there we go. And we've got our spark plug. And as you can see, this guy is old. I'm pretty confident this is an original plug. It's got the BMW logo on it. It is one of the old champions, but I don't think they sell these anymore. So everybody's pretty much switching to the new NGK plugs. So perfect time to replace this. I'm at 70,000 miles currently. I think I'll replace them in the future at 60,000 miles. So if you have a 2019 plus or 2020 plus X5, X7, anything with a Gen 2 B58, these are the recommended spark plugs. They are NGK 96206. And again, I'll have a link in the video description to where I bought these. I bought them from FCP Euro, so you get free lifetime replacements. Next time you'll send the old ones back and get a refund. So pretty much this should be the only time I have to buy these. And these are good for stock cars, tuned cars, big turbo cars, cars on ethanol, everything. So these are really good plugs. They're actually the same heat range as the colder plugs that people used to run in older BMWs. So it just comes with colder plugs from the factory. So I think these work perfectly. Also keep in mind, you don't have to gap them. Again, my car is tuned on MHD, but if you want to, you can double check the gap. Just use like some feeler gauges, and it should be between 0.028 and 0.031 inches. So that'll tell you that it's in the right range. Do not get the Bosch plugs. I know there is a Bosch equivalent to this that fits, but those are platinum plugs. You want these NGKs because these are iridium, and iridium is a better material. So highly, highly recommend getting NGK 96206. All right, let's drop these in. So we'll carefully slide it down there on my magnet. And then I just use a long screwdriver to hold it in place while I pull the magnet off. Again, just that situation with the grommet getting stuck in there. Like I pulled this out, but the grommet was stuck on the spark plug and I couldn't get anything in there to pull it out. And that was all I needed to completely take that grommet out. So I highly recommend, if you buy this part new or this tool new, just remove the grommet and use a magnet for removal and installation of the spark plugs. So we'll go ahead and hand tighten this first until it's snug. There we go. And then we will torque it to the exact torque spec that I am displaying on the screen here. So there we go. My left arm is calibrated, so that's the exact torque spec. All right, and then we'll drop this back down. Push it on there, and then retighten our screw. So we're going to do that for all 6 spark plugs front to back. The benefit here being such a big engine bay and everything being so open, you don't really have to remove any trim or anything to access cylinder 6. So that's a big win for me. This one's really in there. Wow. Those guys must be married or something. Oh, all of them are in there. I feel like these have not been removed since it came from the factory. It's so tight. Oh. There we go. The other nice thing about these coil packs compared to older BMWs is they're floppy, so you can bend them a little bit while you're removing it. Makes it a lot easier to navigate around stuff without having to remove extra components. I love working on this car, man. It's so much easier when you have all this extra space. Definitely can't complain. One thing I do miss about having the grommet is you could pull on the spark plug a little bit, keep a little tension on it, and as soon as it was free, it would pop out. So you knew when you were done loosening it. Now it's a little more of a guessing game, but that's all right. Cylinder 2, not looking too hot. Not like dangerous or anything, but just obviously very old. Cylinder 3. Cylinder 4. Cylinder 5. And cylinder 6. And then, yeah, same as before, just reinstall all the coil packs. There we go. And then we will tighten down the actual little E8 torque screws. Keep in mind, these are just retention screws, so it works fine even without them, but this just makes sure it doesn't get pushed up or anything, so it's added security. So you don't need to go crazy tightening it down. It's not like holding pressure. It just keeps the coil pack in place. Obviously, with how much suction was on them, they don't come out easily anyway. So yeah, I've just seen some people go crazy with these screws and then they end up stripping a hole or something, and it really doesn't take much torque to keep it secure. I'll just go through and snug them all up. Beep, beep, beep. 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 And then we'll reinstall the engine cover. So we'll line it up with the oil filler cap. You should be able to feel it just snap in. And all done. Looks just like it did before. Job well done. And that's pretty much how it's done. So again, the process is pretty straightforward. It's the same for all 6 cylinders. With all of that space in the engine, it's so much easier to get everything done. But keep in mind, when you do your first startup, you do want to double check and make sure all of your sensors are connected. Unfortunately, I almost made a mistake there. Now, of course, don't be like me. I almost forgot to reconnect the O2 sensor. Definitely would have had a bad time if I did that. So yeah, even though it's a pretty simple and easy job, just double check your work. When you start your car, be ready if there are any check engine lights or anything. Prepare yourself to scan for codes and kind of diagnose what the issue could be before you go and drive away. Also, just keep in mind, I like to keep my old spark plugs just in case, at least for a week or so, because sometimes if you get new spark plugs, if there's an issue where they were dropped during shipping or something like that, it could potentially cause misfires or other issues. And so at least if that were to happen, you have your old spark plug that you can drop back in there to continue driving your car until you can get a replacement to come in the mail. So that's something I just do, again, because I've had that issue and I know other people that have, and it just gives me a little more peace of mind to avoid any potential problems, especially if it's your daily driver and you really rely on the car. But otherwise, again, pretty straightforward. Just slap them in and go. You should be good for another 60,000 miles. That's my typical recommended maintenance interval. And yeah, just stick with it. You'll get your free replacements through FCP, so it's really hard to say no to that. So as always, I will have links in the video description to the parts I use, the tools I use, and I'll also make sure I have all of the information for your torque specs readily available in case you need those. And otherwise, I think that's it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.